So according to reports, Nigerian airline operators have threatened to shut down their operations today if there is no reduction in the price of aviation fuel, popularly called Jet A1. Join us on the show right now to discuss more of this is Chief Executive Officer of United Airlines, Mr. Obiora Okonkwo. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Right, so we know Jet A has increased astronomically in the last few weeks. Based on the reports I read, it was like they used to pay about 130 naira or so, and then you're talking almost 700 to the liter. And many of the operators are complaining that they cannot continue like this. But how do you think the government can help you, especially because this problem is not necessarily caused by the Nigerian government? It's a global problem. So how do you think the government can assist you in this situation?
Let me put the record straight. The airline operators of Nigeria did not issue no threat to the government or anybody, but we are just trying to bring to the public notice and to the government a situation we have found ourselves now due to the global energy crisis. And this situation is that if the airlines should be able to sell tickets, applying the cost of aviation fuel as it is today, probably the minimum ticket economy any passenger could be paying for is 150,000 naira.
Wow.
That's just the reality. Because when aviation fuel moves from 190 naira to now going to 650 to 700 naira, it is just very, very astronomical increase. And it constitutes about 30 to 70% of operational costs, depending on how many number of passengers you have on board. So knowing that, yes, it's a deregulated industry, commercial airline operators, it's a private business, and then the fuel marketers, the private business. But considering that the Nigerian population are already going through a lot, we felt that it is important that we bring to the notice of the government that this should be an additional burden, especially realizing that aviation sector is a very critical and an essential sector.
Right. Yes.
It is the engine of economic activities in Nigeria.
Right.
We presented to the government that this is the true situation, and as we, the operators, continue to subsidize the ticket at the ongoing rate, that we could not afford to do that beyond this period of 3 days, which you are mentioning. So that is really what it is. It was not a threat.
Okay.
And for that reason, we asked if there's anything they could do to intervene to reduce the burden on the passengers and obviously continue to support the economic activities going around the nation. But don't forget also, for the record, it's not only NMPC that imports this aviation fuel. It is deregulated, and there are a whole lot of other private importers who import directly. So it is really not like we're competing with NMPC. So the bottom line is that we're very happy with the response, because all airline operators and investors, we are responsible citizens. We are very, very patriotic. And we felt that the best way is to engage all the stakeholders in the industry and the sector to find a lasting solution. That's what we're doing.
So we have to wrap up now, sir. I want to be sure that our viewers, get the crux of what you're saying. So what you're saying so far is that this issue with the aviation fuel scarcity is under control. The government has intervened, and the people, therefore, should have access to travel. I mean, right now, there was a bit of delay here and there. Based on your Spring Alliance, if you get to the airport and your flight is delayed, there's a possibility you catch another flight amongst the alliance, the airlines within the alliance. You can catch somebody else's flight. And secondly, the cost of flights, we know it has increased. Will it come back down to normal once these meetings are done and we have the fuel back to normal? When things go up in Nigeria, it doesn't usually come back down. So will it come back to the normal price people are used to? Could you just clarify before we wrap up?
Well, for the records, the latest base price was reached at when aviation fuel was 380 naira. 380 naira. So if you have to calculate the base price of economy ticket for one-hour flights today in Nigeria, you should be talking about over 100,000 naira. So don't forget that it's not only aviation fuel that is a factor. We're still dealing with foreign exchange issue. So it's until that is resolved, and probably, who knows, in the international market, the oil price might still come down because it moved from 60, 70 to 130 for the last 2 days. It might come down a little bit. So all these things will eventually determine the final cost of ticket. But as of travel, surely you can comfortably travel for this weekend, and like you rightly asked, if you get to the airport, within this alliance, the companies will be able to come together and find a solution if there are delays. The airlines obviously are expected to reduce probably their flight schedules, but working together will still meet the passengers' demand. But there is nothing to worry about. The intervention of government is very rapid, it's very prompt, and it's very apt.
Good to know.
We are hoping that the result will be felt in the nearest possible time,
All right, sir.
which I think by the end of the day.